This is not the first time this has happened in my life. I'm usually very careful, as I was traumatized years ago by a similar incident that happened with my mom and her cat. I was doing the laundry on a typical Saturday morning cleaning. I don't ever let the cats into the laundry room because I've had this experience before. I also have OCD, so every single time I will check if the cats are on the other side of the door before I start the dryer. Well, today I didn't do that. The one time I didn't check. Lieutenant Spoon is a long-haired black cat. He's so quiet. He's like a shadow. He can sneak through anything if you're not paying attention. He must have snuck into the laundry room before I had a chance to shut the door. I threw the clothes into the dryer, left the door open just long enough to put a dryer sheet in, closed the door, and started the dryer. I went back downstairs and was finishing cooking breakfast. It couldn't have been more than 2 minutes later that I heard the most awful screech I have ever heard in my entire life. I instantly knew what it was. When I tell you I flew up those stairs, I am not exaggerating. I opened the dryer and luckily it was not warm, but my sweet Spoon was all puffy and hissed at me, scratched my arms, and even bit me. I feel like such an idiot. I took him to the vet and they said he was okay. He is now eating and drinking. Next story. Today I messed up by accidentally introducing my goofy friend to my strict Catholic parents in the worst possible way. My friend Jerry is one of the funniest people I know, but he's also highly inappropriate and says things that would make a sailor blush. I knew that my strict Catholic parents would never approve of him, so I kept my friendship with Jerry a secret. Yesterday we were chilling at my place. Cannabis was involved, and some other things I better not mention. Here in my country, we have a holy week called Semana Santa, which means vacations for the young ones, but a religious week for the old ones. Guess who came to visit me by surprise yesterday? Yeah, my parents, just on the cusp of our very own drug fest. I panicked when I heard my parents knock on the door, as I recognized the way they knocked. I didn't have time to hide all the incriminating evidence or the odor. I certainly could not sneak Jerry out of the house without being caught. When I opened the door, my parents were standing there looking confused and disappointed. I tried to play it cool, but the smell of marijuana and the sight of Jerry lounging on the couch with a beer in hand made it clear that I was in big trouble. My mom's face turned red as she scrutinized the scene. She started lecturing me about the dangers of drugs and the importance of being responsible as my father stood there in shock. Meanwhile, Jerry was sitting there with a big grin on his face, oblivious to the gravity of the situation. I invited them in and tried to clean up the mess a little bit. I suggested that we should make dinner. During Holy Week, it is forbidden and considered a sin to eat meat other than fish. So my mother suggested cooking the fish they bought before they got home. And then, Jerry being Jerry, actually Jerry being stoned Jerry, he had to make a joke about a certain body part, how fish smell, and the Virgin Mary. My parents were horrified and demanded that Jerry leave immediately. I tried to explain that he was just joking, but they wouldn't hear it. They packed their bags and left without even saying goodbye. I spent the rest of the night cleaning up and feeling like a total failure. Jerry apologized for his behavior, but I don't know how things will be with my parents from now on. Jerry already had the cards stacked against him when meeting his parents. I'm sure the joke didn't help, but either way, the parents weren't going to think highly of Jerry anyway. Next story. Today I messed up by assuming my boyfriend was developmentally delayed instead of being a stereotypical man. I grew up around mostly women besides my father. My dad is a chore and life-splitter feminist icon, without even realizing he is one. I also grew up without gender roles being imposed on me. I just did what I wanted and wore what I wanted. I thought my family was typical of most people. Then my boyfriend and I moved in together a few years back. Great times all around in the beginning, but then the issues came. He didn't know how to do laundry, cook, keep the house clean, and all the other little chores. I taught him how, and he struggled to keep it on a regular schedule. I had to wake him up every morning so he would go to work. I still keep an alarm on for him just in case, which is used at least once a week. He will come home from work, get changed in the living room, leaving a pile of clothes and his bag in the middle of the room, and play his PS4 for the rest of the day. There's a lot of small stuff he just doesn't get. Clean the sink of your beard trimmings. If you pee on and behind the seat, you have to clean it up or it gets rancid and gross. There are lots of other things he does where he wouldn't be able to function if he lived alone. I genuinely thought he had developmental delays. In my head, people don't struggle like this without something not working right. Me, being nice and supportive, decided to research a bunch of things to help him cope with his day-to-day. I have star charts and mini posters around the house with pictures going through the process of how to do things step by step. I've got a little calendar on the wall for his tasks for the day that he can tick off. I have even changed the way I speak to him to be more direct with a bunch of positive reinforcement. It hasn't helped 100%, but it did help a little bit. It's more manageable now compared to what it was. I've never invited friends around my place, and have never told anyone about his issues. I didn't want to embarrass what he couldn't help, as it's our business and not the rest of the world's. A few weeks back, I went to visit a very close friend who I hadn't seen in a long time. It was just me, and I stayed over for a few days. It was nice not having to look after my boyfriend constantly. As she is someone who I've been close to forever and trust with secrets, I opened up about struggling with my boyfriend's issues and how I'm thinking of pushing to get him a diagnosis. It turns out he isn't developmentally disabled. He just went straight from living with a mother who did everything for him to me. Apparently, it's a somewhat common thing that a lot of men need to grow out of when they reach adulthood. Do you know how mortifying it is to find out that your boyfriend is just lazy and you being nice and helpful is a waste of time? Me and my friend keep messaging each other about this, and I'm close to just packing it up and leaving. I am such a massive idiot. I should have noticed it sooner or told someone sooner. None of this keep it between us crap. It sounds like OP's been incredibly patient and understanding, and it's clear that they had the best intentions at heart. But sometimes we might accidentally enable others by trying to help too much. It's essential to establish boundaries and expectations in any relationship. Next story. Today I messed up by accidentally showing my employer an email confirming my new job before I gave my notice. So this morning I accepted a job offer. It was a difficult decision because I enjoy my current job and I love my coworkers. But the new position is a better fit with the kind of work I want to be doing. I got an email from the recruiter this afternoon confirming my acceptance. Because I haven't signed a contract yet, I also haven't given my current employer my notice, and it's been a bit uncomfortable being at the office acting normal when I know I'll be dropping this bomb soon. We are a small company, and I'm in a close-knit team of only 4 people. All of us are good at our jobs, and we are quite busy. My leaving will be unexpected and not great for the team, and I do feel bad about it. Unfortunately for me, I now have an even better reason to feel bad. So this afternoon, I was in a meeting with my team, including my team lead and our manager. Our manager is also the CEO, and we all get on well with him. We were brainstorming some design solutions as my job is a designer. My coworker suggested a feature in Gmail that was similar to what we wanted to achieve. I was already sharing my screen, so I logged into my personal Gmail without thinking. We use a different platform for our work email. At the top, I had 2 unread emails, but below that in the read section, I had an email with the subject saying job offer and a preview of thank you for accepting our offer. We're glad you want to join our company, or something like that. I didn't realize until like 10 seconds in. I immediately opened a new tab and tried to play it off. I am absolutely mortified. No one let on that they saw it, but if they did, the email preview left absolutely zero doubt about what was going on. I really hope my new employer will send me the contract tomorrow since it's my day off. That way I can sign it and give my notice first thing Monday. I'd like to be able to apologize profusely in case my boss saw it. I did not want them to find out like this. In the meantime, I have to try to laugh about it with you guys because otherwise I'll spend the whole weekend cringing, so please be amused at my misery. It's good that OP can laugh at themselves a bit, but it's understandable to feel anxious about the situation. Changing jobs is already pretty stressful, and possibly showing them before an official resignation doesn't help, but in the end, they're gonna find out one way or another. Next story. Today I messed up by getting matching lobster tattoos with my boyfriend after watching Friends. This happened a few months ago, but I just found out how bad it was today. So my boyfriend and I are huge fans of Friends, and we decided to binge watch the whole series during quarantine. We got to the episode where Phoebe tells Ross that Rachel is his lobster because lobsters mate for life, and we thought it was the cutest thing ever. We've been dating for 2 years, and we were thinking of taking our relationship to the next level. So we thought, why not get matching lobster tattoos to show our love and commitment? We found a tattoo parlor that was open and had good reviews, and we booked an appointment. We chose a simple design of 2 lobsters holding claws, and we got them inked on our ankles. It hurt, but we were so happy and proud of our tattoos. We took pictures and posted them on Instagram and got a lot of likes and comments from our friends and family. Everyone thought it was adorable and romantic. Fast forward to today. I was browsing Reddit and I came across a post on Ask Reddit that asked, "What is something that everyone thinks is true but is actually false?" I clicked on it out of curiosity, and I saw a comment that said, "Lobsters don't mate for life. They're actually very promiscuous and will mate with different partners every mating season." I was shocked and confused. I Googled it, and sure enough, it was true. Lobsters are not monogamous at all. They're basically the opposite of what Phoebe said. I felt like an idiot. I had just permanently marked myself with a symbol of something that was completely false. I called my boyfriend and told him the bad news. He seemed to be equally stunned and embarrassed. We both regretted our decision and wished we had done more research before getting the tattoos. Now we're stuck with these stupid lobsters that mean nothing to us. I feel like this will eventually just be a situation OP and their boyfriend can laugh about later on. We all make silly mistakes, and luckily this one isn't that terrible. OP could have gotten it in a more visible place, or it could have been something much worse than a lobster tattoo.